Hitter Podcast. I am your host, Red, where we will be talking all things Yankees baseball. Happy Yankees Tuesday. Let's jump right into it. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to recap. We got the future. We got a little bit of the past. Let's jump into it. Last week, a lot of games to go over. We finished up our series against the Mariners, started and finished our series against the Marlins since we last spoke, and now tonight we will be starting a brand new one against the A's. I'll give you all the highlights from the last week. I'll give you all to look forward to next week. Here we go. March 31st, we had a 5-0 win against the Mariners. We had runs by Rice and Bellinger. Listen, I'm getting a little tired of seeing Grisham as the leadoff hitter. I know it's the beginning of the season. I know he has to get into his groove. But when you have somebody like Judge and Rice and even Stanton that are going to be coming after him, he needs to get on base. We'll talk about that. I like what I'm seeing from Chisholm. He's starting to settle into second base. He just talks. He talks a lot, and that's the appeal. He's a confident player, and you love to see that from your guys. But I think he's got to ease up a little bit. I don't know if he's coming back to the Yanks when his contract's done. Honestly, I don't see it. I don't see them giving him a big deal unless he really produces this year. But he gets himself in trouble sometimes. But that's the appeal, right? You wouldn't be a New York Yankee if you didn't get yourself in trouble. Max Fried's a stud. I love what I'm seeing from him. I love what I'm seeing from the defense. It's just that offense that we got to get going. And obviously, all these games that we're going to talk about were pretty high-scoring games, but it takes a while for them to get into the rhythm. They'll score early, maybe from the first to the third innings, and then won't score again until 6, 7, or 8. You know, it's just we got to start hitting consistently, and that's the challenge. April 1st, April Fool's Day, we had a 5-3 win, continuing that series against the Mariners. Again, I'm noticing that offense is looking a little bit better. But again, first run was in the first inning. And then again, we didn't score again until the 6th. So we really got to be mindful of that and just be a little bit more consistent. Bernard is concerning. The defense has been really solid making those plays, but the pitching are the ones giving up the runs, obviously. There hasn't been a lot of errors in the field. Chisholm gave up an error. I don't even know if you'd call it an error by just getting that first out on second, and easy double play, but he just took too much time with it. I don't know if it's confidence. I don't know if it's ego. I don't know if he was trying to adjust himself. But again, it goes back to that stuff where, what are we doing? This is basic stuff, and even Boone talked about that. It's what you want. It's what you want to see. Thanks, Boone. Schlittler is looking phenomenal, but in that game, the 5-3 win against the Mariners, those last 2 innings were rough to watch, and that's a reoccurring theme that we're going to see later in the series. April 3rd, we had our 8-2 win against the Marlins. Judge's first home run at the home opener, followed up with being hit by a nasty pitch by Perez. He did not look too happy about that. Marlins pitching was absolutely god-awful in that game, so that shows why we had that 8-2 win. Bellinger had an absolutely sick jumping catch at the top of the 9th. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. He jumped up, he grabbed it, it fell out of his glove, and he pulled his hand back and caught it. Probably without even knowing it, but it looked sick. It was awesome. We secured the win for our first home opener. Good to see. Here's where it starts to get a little bit of deja vu. 4-4, we had our 9-7 win against the Marlins. Again, a win's a win. I'm happy with it. But just like last week in our 2 series, just like the series against the Mariners, we start really strong with our high scoring or our, average scoring. And then we let the team adjust to our pitching. And then they start to score on us. So there's really no excuse why the Marlins should be scoring 2 runs in the first game, and now they're scoring 7 against us. It's just unacceptable. I don't know what we're doing with that. And it happens every series. They're adjusting, but we're not. So the Marlins took the lead. They took the lead first. It was 4-0 at the bottom of the 5th until Bellinger rocked a 2-run home run. Judge would end up tying the game at the bottom of the 6th with a ground ball to center right field. Sac fly by Bellinger gave the Yanks a 5-4 lead with Grisham running in from the score. We're seeing that Stanton's got wheels. He's got something to prove this year. Maybe he's trying to do the 50 for 50. with a couple stolen bases and a stolen run. Marlins tie it up at the bottom of the 8th, 6-6. Stanton blasts a 2-run single at the bottom of the 8th. Again, we have Bernard. He closes it out, but not before giving us all a heart attack. Bases are loaded. Top of the 9th. Strikes out. Canine 0-3. All shutout. Something you really... It's like, what are we doing? It's the top of the 9th. We're winning, and you have bases loaded at the top of the 9th. 1 home run, 1 double. We're going into extra innings. You don't want to see that. It's just, we dominated this team 8-2 the day before, and now it's coming down to the last inning. I mean, it was an absolutely awesome game. You love to see it. It's competitive, but we got to close it out earlier. We got to be a little bit confident. All of our star players showed up, and they showed why they are those star players. Stanton, Bellinger, Judge, Rice, they produced. I want to see a little bit more activity from those younger guys. Again, Chisholm's, Wells, you got to have them produce. McMahon's. Because Stanton, Bellinger, Judge, and Rice, they're not always going to have those games. Not always going to have those games at the same time. We saw that last year, especially right after June, where everyone started to hit that lull. So we got to be careful with that, and we got to be able to have members of our team who can pick up the pieces and pick up the slack when needed. Can't always be on those 4 guys. April 5th, last game of the series against the Marlins. We lost 7-6. That was after a 3-hour rain delay. Fried would let up his first run of the season. You could see how passionate he is about everything. Every time he lets something up, he is just distraught. It really eats him up. Ben Rice would launch a missile home run, making it 3-1 with a 3-run home run. It was a really slow game. Until about the 8th inning, our pitcher Bird would let up 2 runs in the 8th. We'd have a pitching change to Yarborough, and he lets up another 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th, 7-4 Marlins. Jazz would produce finally. He had a very slow series, a very slow start to the series with a 2-run double, 7-6 Yankees, and then Escara would go 0-4, striking out with 2 runners on base. You got to produce in that situation, and that's what I'm talking about earlier with our young guys. We had a chance to tie it. We had a chance to go into the end of the game or even win it, and we strike out with 2 runners on base. Can't do it. We start that series strong with the Marlins, 8-2, then it's 9-7, and then we lose by 1 run. You just can't. These teams are adjusting to us. By the time June rolls around, they're going to have us figured out, and maybe they'll have a little bit of trouble if we get Rodon and Cole back into the lineup by then, but you got to start to see something. There's got to be some adjustments, and I'm not seeing it. With that said, I want to jump into some of the games we got coming up this week. We got Yankees baseball every day. Every day till next Tuesday. I am stoked. I'm sure you are as well. Let's jump into some of the games. Tonight, of course, we got 7:05 start time. The New York Yankees versus the Athletics, formerly the Oakland Athletics. Now just the Athletics. That will be 7:05 on Tuesday, April 7th. We will continue that series tomorrow in Yankee Stadium, 7:05 start time. April 9th, Thursday, the New York Yankees will continue to take on the Athletics, but that will be a 1:35 p.m. start time. If you don't have work, enjoy that. We then get started on our next series. We'll be away. So on Friday, April 10th, the New York Yankees will be taking on the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa. That will be a 7:10 start time. Continuing on, second game of that series, Saturday, April 11th, New York Yankees at the Tampa Bay Rays, 6:10 start time. Then on Sunday, April 12th, the New York Yankees finish out that series against the Tampa Bay Rays. That will be a 1:40 p.m. start time. Then next Monday, April 13th, the New York Yankees will be back in the Bronx. They'll be taking on the Angels at 7:05 p.m. And the second game of that series will be on April 14th. Again, the New York Yankees versus the Angels at 7:05 p.m. Not going to get into any more games in the future because I'll be talking to you. I'll be talking to you next Tuesday. We'll talk about all of those games that I just mentioned. We'll go over some of the highlights, what I liked, what I didn't like, and anything else that might come up. I want to take a quick minute to talk about our boy Ben Rice. On April 3rd, he went 2 for 5, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, and a run scored. And then on 4-5, he would go 1 for 2, home run, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Really impressive showing. Again, Ben Rice has been one of our most promising young guys, and it's really awesome to see what he's doing. And with that said, let's jump into our player spotlight of the week. That is none other than Ben Rice himself. The 27-year-old from Dartmouth College made his big league debut on June 18th, 2024. He recently signed a 1-year contract in 2025 for around $782,000. He was a 12th round draft pick in the 2021 MLB draft, coming in at the 363rd draft pick. Rice's 2025 stats include a .255 batting average, a .337 OBP, 836 OPS, and 26 home runs as a lefty batter. He is a dominant hitter, as you can tell by his stats that we went over a little bit earlier from the week. Just a great addition to have, especially in that DH spot. Rice would achieve his first home run of the season on April 1st against the Mariners, and he's been alternating between designated hitter, catcher, and first base. Seems like first base is going to be that landing port for him. He has a lot more confidence there than it seems as catcher. And as Goldschmidt continues to age and potentially age out, either of the Yankees or the league, that might be a good landing spot for him. I think Goldschmidt definitely does have some more years on him, but with the Yankees, I don't know how much longer we'll keep him on or how many more extensions we'll sign him. Little fun fact about our boy Ben Rice is that he has a sponsorship deal with Ben's Original Rice. Almost too apropos. You love to see it. And he'll be making that money even though his current salary in the MLB is on the lower side. Since he's on those rookie deals, Ben's Original Rice is taking care of him for him. I would love to see Ben Rice continue on with the Yankees. He's a great, great asset to our team. If we don't go all the way this year, it's going to be interesting to see what we do. There's some pieces that we have to keep. There's some pieces that we're going to let go. There's contracts that are starting to wind down. And with the impending lockout for next year, it's going to be trouble. It's going to be a lot of trouble, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen. This could be Stanton's last season with us. His contract ends in 2027, so that might be a sticking point. If he's not going to play with us next year, if there's a lockout, and we don't re-sign Stanton because Stanton is an aging player as well, what do? Maybe you keep him and throw him on first, unless there's a unstoppable first baseman that goes up on the free market. I think you just let Ben continue to develop in that spot. I don't think you need him as catcher. I don't really think he needs to get those reps unless there's a catastrophic injury, but you really like to see what Ben is doing in that spot. With that said, that has been our player spotlight of the week. Of course, Ben Rice is one of our most promising young talents, and I'm really excited to see where he goes throughout the rest of the season. He has started off really hot. I think he just needs to continue his batting and just be aware that once pitchers start to see more of him and see his swing, they're going to be able to adjust. And if he's in that DH spot, they're definitely going to be throwing pitches that he is not going to be able to handle. With that said, we got our game tonight. 7:05 p.m., New York Yankees versus the Angels. I'm excited to see what we're going to do. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win every game. But that's what you want as a Yankee. That's what you want to see. It's right in front of us. Right, Aaron Boone? It's right in front of us. I want to see some more adjustments for Aaron Boone. The lineup has not changed too much. And I mean, it's been working. We've won all of our series. We've had a couple losses in those third games, but I think that's the problem. We don't have that fine-tuning as we go along. Yankees starting lineup today, Cam Schlittler will be on the mound with his 15 strikeouts. We have Grisham starting off the lineup, followed by Aaron Judge. Then batting third, we have Bellinger. We have Ben Rice. Giancarlo Stanton will be the designated hitter. Coming in number 6, Jazz Chisholm Jr. We have Rosario, number 7. 8 will be Austin Wells. And finally, we have Caballero finalizing the batting lineup for today's game. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Switch Hitter Podcast. I'm your host, Red. Thank you so much for joining us. Drop us a line below if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the field.